Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to talk about why Cebu or Manila might be the perfect soft landing for a first-time trip out to the Philippines, or at least initially stay. Stick around and we're going to discuss it. Alright guys, so I often talk about this on my channel, and it is what I refer to as a soft landing. It's more geared towards people who really don't have a lot of travel experience or who've never been to Southeast Asia, and in particular the Philippines. And what I mean by a soft landing is arriving to the Philippines, a new country, new culture, language, the whole thing, and not going into culture shock like an extreme change. And so a lot of times I say soft landing. For example, when you land, if you land in Manila, you can go off to BGC, that's Bonifacio Global City, or Makati, and these are kind of what I consider Western bubbles, with built up with nice condos, and you got shopping malls and a lot of great restaurants. Or Cebu City, and in Cebu you could either be in IT Park, you could be in Cebu Business Park. There's also a new development in Mandaue called Mandani Bay. And then in Lapu-Lapu, which is connected to, it's part of Cebu, it's called Mactan Newtown. And these are all what I refer to as kind of expat bubbles. They're really built up upper class kind of areas where you'll find everything from restaurants to massage places to grocery stores to the shopping mall to condos. And so you land and you're not really thrust into like a culture shock right away. For example, in Manila and Cebu, you've got Grab taxi or regular metered cabs, and it's easy to maneuver around by just downloading the Grab app, for example. Or because if you go to some of these other cities, for example, a lot of guys make the mistake of what I call choosing the girl first and then choosing the location. I always tell people I think it's better to choose the location versus choosing the girl. Choose the location, make sure you're happy in that location, and then start your search or chatting with girls. And then you could branch out and maybe find a girl who's from a different part, and you could say, hey, listen, this is where I live, I'm happy here, would you be willing to ever move out here if things became serious? Because a lot of guys will move out to where the girl is and they just really aren't that happy. They don't really want to live where she's at. So don't make that mistake. But you'll land in some cities, like even Dumaguete, for example. There's not really taxis here per se. There's these tricycles, the motorcycle with the little sidecar thing attached to it with seats. And if you aren't really used to that, you don't know how much the prices are, and it's hot and they're cramped, and you just don't know how the whole service works with the jeepneys and everything. It's just much easier to land into a city where, you know, you could stay in a nice hotel, you could stay in a condo, and you walk out your door and you got Western style restaurants. Because a lot of people, I'll be honest, just are not big fans of Filipino food. And so to have a Burger King or a TGI Fridays at the mall is just a lot easier for some guys to kind of utilize versus jumping right into like Filipino food right away. So these are good things these are good places to at least start off with. And then when you feel comfortable, you will kind of understand the Philippines. You got the feel of it a little bit. You kind of got a feel of the people. Maybe you've experimented with some of the food. You feel more comfortable. Then you can go off and go to the city of your choice. If, for example, you're meeting a girl in Bayawan, Dipolog, or some mid-tier or smaller type provincial city, you'll kind of not be in as big of a culture shock. It's it's a lot to just have never been to the Philippines and go to one of these little small towns, and the accommodations are kind of subpar to what you're used to. The food is just not what you're used to. And you go to one of these towns, you're not going to have all these restaurants available and nicer lodgings. By the way, if you guys need help and you're moving or traveling out to the Philippines, go to my website, geointhephilippines.com. There is a free PDF. It'll help you with your travels to move out here or travel, and there's kind of a checklist of things to prepare or to help you with links provided. Also, if you want to see all the things I highly recommend for traveling or moving to the Philippines, things I personally use, check out my Geo Travel Essentials for all of those items. And if you want to see all the hotels that I highly recommend, I've stayed at personally, check out my article on the updated list of where to stay in the Philippines 2024. It's got links to all my favorite hotels, resorts, all across the Philippines. Check it out. All right, back to the video. So I think for most people, if you haven't been out here, and maybe Manila or Cebu is not really where you want to be for your final destination, what I recommend is booking 3 nights in a hotel. You land into Manila, you land into Cebu, do 3 nights. You can use my list of where I recommend, and then just kind of acclimate yourself to the Philippines a little bit. Maybe try some of the Filipino food and see what you like. Kind of get used to, chatting with Filipinos and kind of understand the culture a bit more before you go off to the smaller city or wherever your final destination may be. Because let's be honest, most of you are going to come out here and you're coming out here to meet a girl. That's just the reality of it. Most come out here for that purpose. And so go to BGC, Makati in Manila, Cebu, Mactan Newtown, IT Park, Cebu Business Park, Mandani Bay, and enjoy a nice hotel in that area. And then you can step out your doors and you got restaurants and coffee shops and all kinds of things, and just unwind, get away from the jet, recover from the jet lag, and just see how you like it. And if it already is a bit of too much of a culture shock, well, guess what? You may not want to go off to some small province town where the accommodations are going to be kind of subpar, the food's going to be subpar. So that is my recommendation. Let me know what you guys think. But a soft landing is really a good idea. Not only that, when you first get here, you are jet lagged. This last trip, for some reason, when I flew to the US, I had no problem with jet lag. I was recovered almost instantly. Like the next morning, I was like refreshed and ready to go. And when I came back to the Philippines, I just could not get over my jet lag. It was just an exhausting trip. And it literally took my body, I think, a good 10 days or so to get back on track on the sleeping. Maya and I would turn on a movie and I'd be falling asleep at like 8 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night. So get yourself, rested, get over the jet lag. Don't just meet the girl at the airport immediately and be taken away off to a big family meeting immediately. Have a few days to yourself and kind of enjoy, and then go off to your next destination. So again, this will make things go a lot smoother for you. I think most people will be much happier. You may just choose to do your entire trip in one of these areas that I recommend. Now, Cebu and Manila are not the only places you could do a soft landing. You can do places like Iloilo, even Bacolod, Davao, any of the bigger cities with like a built-up area that I kind of refer to as a Western bubble, where you can literally step out your door and you've got all these amenities, malls, restaurants, everything right there. It can be a bit of a culture shock landing in, again, one of these smaller cities where you aren't going to have any food choices. You may end up not liking the food at all. The accommodations in some of these places can really be subpar. I've checked into hotels across the Philippines in some of these smaller cities where I've literally walked out 30 minutes later and just gave up the money and said, you know what, I can't stay here. Turn on the light and cockroaches are everywhere, or the food is just so terrible. Stayed at a hotel in Bacolod one time where the breakfast was just, you couldn't even eat it. It was just horrible. So let me know again what you guys think. And again, check out my website for a lot of information. And let's have a discussion down in the comment. Let me know some of your places. What do you think as far as a soft landing here in the Philippines? Is it the best thing to do or not? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see everyone next time.